I think I was born a writer, and it was a natural thing for me to do. And although I started, I guess around 1951, writing reviews for Art Digest, later I branched out and I taught for a little while at Pratt. I taught writing, and you know, it was a sort of natural thing for me to do. And then eventually I wrote books. I don't remember how many, but quite a number, maybe 20. I started working for the Times in 1951, I think, and I worked there 5 years, and then the president's son-in-law, Clifton Daniel, disliked me. Mainly, I do remember what it was based on. I went out and interviewed George Grosz. And as you know, George Grosz was a leftist. And I just told the truth about what he said to me and what I said to him and so on. And then this president's son-in-law, Clifton Daniel, went after me, and he got me fired. I didn't like Clement. There was something very unpleasant about him for me, and so I wasn't a close friend of his. But I liked Harold Rosenberg, and one of the reasons I liked Harold was that he was a very cultivated man, and he was familiar with a lot of European ideas, which Clem wasn't. And Clem was, I found, a very unpleasant person, he had a rather exalted idea about who he was, you know. And Harold was not like that. Harold was a sophisticated man and highly cultured, very well read, you know. And when I would sit and talk with Harold, or sometimes I would help Harold. You remember, he was lame, and sometimes I would go to where he was and help him walk around. And the other thing about Harold was that he was very well informed about Europe, which Clem was not. In short, I didn't like Clement Greenberg. I was a great admirer of Philip. I thought from the minute I saw his work that he was a real painter, and I love painting. And also I studied painting, so, you know, it was part of my family, so to speak. As you know, he was an extremely intelligent man. So we had lots of conversations about everything, politics, and, you know, and my politics were always on the left, and so were Philip's. He was very good at roasting turkeys. And we would sit in his living room on, I think, East 10th Street. And there was a very comfortable chair for me and for him. And we'd sit there and just gossip about local news and other artists. And, well, he was a very genial friend of mine. I regarded him as a friend. He was a genial man, a very friendly man, and not at all self-projecting man. And so it was very easy for me and him to chat. And the people that I knew, and especially Philip Guston, were also very respectful of him. Louise? Well, first of all, she was married to Robert Goldwater. Secondly, she joined me at the Mach Foundation in France to denounce the U.S. policy in Vietnam. And she was very, I thought, very forceful and impressive. I was impressed by her. I was and am, with a small s, a socialist. And Allende, as he came across in the United States, was also a socialist. And he was somebody that I thought was, in a way, a hero. And I still do. I mean, he was a remarkable man. And when they assassinated him, I was very distraught, and then we had a committee that was going to try to get even with those sons of bitches, but it never worked, unfortunately. And Allende was very impressive, as you know. I guess you know. So people like me were just naturally aligned with him. And what happened, you know. I mean, horrible, horrible story. And definitely Kissinger is the villain, in my opinion. He was an assassin. But people still don't say that, do they? Oh. Watch out for art dealers. What a time. What a time. I guess you remember a lot of that. What a time. What a time. I guess you remember a lot of that.